Welcome to Being Friends with Jess and Toni-ann, an inside look at our friendship, millennial things, sports, and pop culture. Come laugh with us, or maybe at us, and let's be friends.
Welcome
Bye.
back, friends.
Welcome back, friends.
It's officially been 1 year since our first episode.
Yay! Oh, I remember I used to be like, oh, it's our blah, blah, blah episode. And you used to hate when I announced that. But I haven't done it in a while.
You've done a good job at since 40. You really didn't
Yeah.
You've laid off, so good job.
I mean, because this number is 47. Like, it's not like a big number, but the 1 year mark is a big deal.
Drop it in.
I had to drop
It's
it in.
47.
It also goes to show that obviously we had our skips because it should be 52, if you think about it that way.
Right. That's true.
But I think that's a pretty
But
good
still,
streak.
that's pretty. I feel like that's a good streak for not getting paid to do this.
Yeah, for literally just doing this as a hobby once a week, and making a couple people laugh. You're welcome.
Literally, you're welcome.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I listened to that song today at least 4 times.
Still in Moana mode.
Yeah, very much so.
And Moana 2 is right around the corner.
I know. I think that's going to be our first movie in the movie theater as a family.
Oh, really? That would be our first one?
Yeah, what else has come out that I would have taken her to see?
I guess that's true. There really hasn't been anything that she would be interested in, because and even the Inside Out or whatever, that's kind of way above her head.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. So, that'll be fun.
Got it. Yeah, it will. So, anywho, what's in your China?
I have new China. It is, because we're still going, that's wine glass, but it's actually plastic, and you squeeze, you could really grip it, it's pliable. I kind of think it's almost oh, Jess. We just lost Jess. She clearly did not like she did not like my China. Did my China piss you off that much? What are we doing here? You just decided to hang up?
No,
Shut up.
I went to close out of my Google Chrome because I felt like it was slowing down my internet. It closed.
I was like, you'll watch it when you watch it back. I was like, here's my China, da, 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 and then you just leave. I'm like, okay.
No, I was trying to get back to see you squeezing the cup. I heard all of that.
I can do it again. I'll do it again. Look, you can squeeze it.
Yeah, sure.
Look, see how you can squeeze it.
Oh yeah. Wait, where did you get this one?
My parents had it in their house. I don't know where she got it, where my mom got it from, but I almost feel like it's a pool cup, because it could probably float.
Oh yeah, probably. Maybe.
But I have my
Maybe that's what it is.
I went summery with the drink today. I don't know what possessed me to, but this is my usual summer drink of the jalapeno limeade with tequila.
Okay. I was
Does
telling
juice go
someone at work
bad?
today. I was telling someone at work today about your travel tahini and how you just put it in everything, because we ordered pizza at work today, and I was saying how I'm gonna need a purse hot honey for when I eat pepperoni pizza and they don't have hot honey.
Right. No shame.
So.
No shame in a purse condiment. I fully support it.
All right. Well,
yeah.
We'll talk about me being at the game during our Mets segment, but I got new China.
Yay.
Don't worry, everybody. I got Toni-ann one too. I made
Yay.
my husband bring his home. So they don't say playoffs on them, which I don't know. I guess maybe that's frugal of them, because then they don't have to order new ones for every single round. But also I wanted one that said the playoffs on it, but then I liked it because it was cute. I mean, it's cute enough. It's different. We don't have this one, so we got it.
I mean, I feel
So
like they
I
could have
put
just
them.
they put up a postseason on it, and they still could have used it for every round. I don't know.
I agree. Oh my God. Wait. I have to have an outfit change. I was supposed to wear a shirt for this podcast, and I forgot about it. So please hold while I change.
Oh my God. We're off to a really great start for our year anniversary podcast. An outfit change. I can say I've never done that before for this podcast. What do we have here?
Okay, I'm back. I got a t-shirt shirt.
You did?
And this is the postseason ones. And when you said that, I'm like, this should be on the cup.
Oh my God, I love it.
I know, me too. And I can't believe I forgot to put it on. But I've had like a really, like, I'm only working 2 days this week because we're going away. And you would think, like, you would think it's Friday already before my brain's
Breathe,
at.
breathe. Jesus.
I can't. I can't.
Wait, does it say anything on the back? No, right?
I don't think so.
No. Oh, okay, no. You could have just turned around and I could have looked at it, but okay. No. The answer is no.
So.
Jesus
Does
Christ.
it say anything on the back?
Yeah.
No.
No. But
Anyway.
wait, but that's really cute because it matches their season ticket promotion, the commercial. Oh my God. And I love that it says postseason.
Anyway.
I'm so jealous.
So I didn't fill this all the way because we've talked about how these are like 30-ounce cups.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I have wine. Cheers.
That would be like a whole wine, maybe not a whole bottle, but that'd be at least half a bottle if you filled that all the way.
At least if you filled this all the way, yeah.
Yeah, but cheers.
So, any hooser. Sorry for all the interruptions, people, but we're back. We're ready to rock and roll. It just sounded like I was from Minnesota. I sounded like Marshall Erickson's mom. That was something that she would.
Yeah, exactly. Alrighty then. Any Hooser. Wait, Hoosers is. What state is that?
I think Indiana.
Yeah. So
Or the Hoosiers.
The Hoosiers. Any Hoosiers. I've never been to Indiana, but.
Me neither. You want to know why? I'm never going to go because I didn't get pre-sale for Taylor Swift anyway. Can we just take a moment for my shampoo? Okay, this could be my ridiculous thing, but lately my hair has been drying so nice.
That's air dried?
Yeah. And slept on nice. 2 days. 2 days slept on.
Drop the shampoo. Give a free ad out because we don't get paid for any of this.
I literally don't even know what it's called.
Kirkland?
No, it's not Kirkland. I got it from like the salon like that I go to. So I was using the one shampoo, but then they had like drama with the shampoo distributor, and apparently they just like stopped sending them to shampoo, so then they had to switch. So when I ran out, I was like, Mom, can you pick me up shampoo? She was like, the new one? I was like, what do you mean the new one? She was like, well, they switched because they stopped sending them the shampoo. And I was like, oh, well, just get it for me. Let's see how it goes. I'm obsessed. It's like a hydrating shampoo, but like, guys, when I tell you this is air dried and I've slept on it for 2 days, not lying.
It really looks very nice.
I have nothing else to talk about, but that could be the ridiculous thing is that I'm telling you about my hair.
That's fine. My ridiculous thing was going to be a rant because what else is ridiculous things meant for?
What else is new?
So I don't remember if I've ever said it on the podcast before. I feel like I've definitely told you, like I think I sent you text about this really mysterious and obnoxious noise that's been coming out of my apartment hallway.
Yes.
I don't think I talked about it on the podcast though.
I don't think so either. I think you just told me and Melissa about it because you saw us the night after it started.
Yeah, because I got no sleep because of it. So anyway, this was like back the end of August, okay? I actually looked back at my text messages. It was August 21st. It was like 1 a.m. or maybe even later because I was, as usual, in bed, but not asleep because I was either on TikTok or doing whatever. So not what I should have been doing, which was sleeping. And then all of a sudden, the highest pitched noise comes out of my hallway, and it was like nonstop for like an hour, and I did not know what it was. It seemed to be coming from our boiler room, like the hot water room, and the utility room, like of the ground floor of my apartment building, which is only 3 doors down from me. So I'm like looking outside my hallway. Nobody else is obviously awake because it's almost 2 a.m. at this point. I'm texting my dad because he's obviously awake because he has worse sleeping habits than myself. So he's always awake at that time on the couch. So I am like just, texting him going, is this building gonna blow up? Like, I don't know what's happening. I'm sending him videos. I'm sending him pictures. He said that, he started to go into all of his smart dad things about how, oh, it's probably just this part of the motor or the rotor or I have no idea of like the hot water heater. But it's probably fine, but it's just this and, trying to reassure me. But then he keeps saying, but like, you might want to just like let your super know anyway. Cause like, God forbid it's like something else. And I'm like, and I'm sitting here at 2 a.m. thinking like this building's about to blow up. Like it's going to go on fire. Like something's going to happen. It's no good. And I can't
literally
believe,
so brave of you to stay in the building thinking
where was I
going to
go?
It's going to blow up.
Where was
Drive
I
to Staten Island? I don't know.
No, I couldn't do this. So it was 2 a.m. I decided to call my management company of my building, but because it's 2 a.m, they only had an answering service, not like the actual office was obviously not open at this time. So
Obviously.
I get an answering service, which was a human. It wasn't a machine. It was a person. And I said, listen, I understand that it's in the middle of the night and there's probably nothing you can do for me, but I feel I have a duty to report this because it's mind-boggling to me that not one other person in this building has poked their head out of their door to say, what the hell was that? And it just would not stop. And I really think somebody needs to investigate it. Like, I don't know if I should call the fire department. Like, I didn't know what to do. And of course, the lady who had no idea, she was just like, okay, I'll get in touch with like the building manager. Like, what is she gonna do at 2 a.m? Like, I'm like, should I
She's like,
call?
you have a lot to say for 2 a.m.
Yeah, I was like, should I call emergency services? She's like, I don't know. I'm like, okay. All right, great. So I'm freaking out here. And then I was starting to get tired, but I obviously couldn't rest because it was 1, so loud, but 2, I was nervous. I was up in fits about it. So then I'm starting to cry. My dad's loving that. 2 a.m. Toni-ann crying because she thinks the building's about to blow up is just what he wants to deal with. And finally, I'm like, you know what? Screw it. If none of these people care, then I'm just going to go to sleep. And it was nice knowing you if I don't see you in the morning. And I eventually somehow fall asleep with my earplugs in, obviously, whatever.
So dramatic.
Well, am I not? So the next day, my super, I also texted my super because I wasn't going to go knock on his door at 2 a.m. Like, that's crazy. Meanwhile, his door is only 1 door over. So how does he not hear this? Like, then I thought I was like, am I having a stroke? Like, am I on a different plane of hearing that like nobody else hears this? Like, is it one of those things where like you have to be a certain age to hear the noise? Like that stupid mosquito ringtone we always used to have growing up. I didn't know what was happening. And I slept through the night and I lived. Spoiler alert, I lived. I'm not dead. But the next day, my super was like, Toni, if there's ever any, he calls me Toni because English is not his first language. He's like, if there's ever any emergency, please come knock on my door. And I'm like, it was 2 a.m. I was not going to knock on your door, but you definitely need to have somebody come look into this. And I learned that the day before this noise started happening, they put in a brand new hot water heater. So it was probably something on this machine. This is a very boring story. I'll get to the end eventually. Anyway, this was August. I don't think they ever got somebody to come look at it. Sure enough, fast forward to October 15th, today, all day long, that noise has been going off from 1 p.m. because now it's cold out and now the heat's running all day finally. So everyone and their mother at 2 p.m. today poked their head out. What's that noise? What's going on? That's very disruptive. And I'm there going, we could have got this fixed 2 months ago. What are we doing here, people? Like, what are we doing? Like, and now everybody's like, did you hear that? Yes, I hear this. I've been hearing this since
none
August.
of you? I guess they all sleep like rocks and you don't. So.
My God, I think that would have woke me up even if I was already asleep. Anyway, so my rant and my ridiculous thing is nobody listens to Toni-ann. This could have been resolved on August 21st. or August 22nd if it was the next day. But now that we're all freezing and we need the heat on, now they're going to have to do heat repairs because this thing is probably broken. And they should have listened to me, and this would have never been an issue.
But they can't fix something that they can't hear. If the super didn't hear it, how does he know what to fix?
I took videos and sent it to not only the super, but to the management company, okay?
That's true. Okay.
And I felt like a Karen, but I'm sorry, like, it's not like I was reporting on people. Like, I was doing my duty as a resident of this building. We might be blown up. Maybe somebody should look into this. You see so many horrible stories on the news about buildings that have been out of compliance or something's been wrong for years and nobody says anything and then burns down.
I'm not arguing with you to not say anything.
I know, you're not arguing me. But anyway, that was my rant. That was my ridiculous thing. So we'll see if the plumber, my super kept saying a plumber had to come. I would think it's more electrician that has to deal with it, but I don't know what left from right. I don't know anything about that.
Hot water heater, that's plumbers.
Okay, so the plumber's apparently coming tomorrow. Of course, I told my father, guess what's going off today? The noise. And he said, please poke your head out when the plumber's here. I want to know what's wrong with the machine, because in his dad way, he needs to know if he was right.
He needs to know if he's right. Exactly.
Right, exactly. So we shall see. And that is my ridiculous rant.
That for you. Okay.
I don't. But I was right. Just saying.
It's fine. All right, let's do our one topic and then go on to our most important topic of the Mets.
What was our one topic? Remind me.
You wrote it. Childhood movies that gave us trauma. I don't know what that means.
Oh, I did write that, didn't I?
Well, like, I mean, I can infer what that means, but like, can you steer me in the correct direction? Because that's very interpretive.
It's because I saw on Instagram yesterday, everybody and their mother was reposting a video on like those like nostalgia Instagrams that were like, I don't trust you if you don't cry, or like this defined your childhood. Pokemon 2000. You've seen that movie?
Maybe. I probably did.
The Pokemon movie that came out in the year 2000.
Yeah, I mean, I probably did, but I don't remember it.
The scene at the end of that movie, okay? And what was it? It was the year 2000. We were 8 years old. The scene at the end of that movie when Ash Ketchum, spoiler alert to anyone that has not watched it, Ash Ketchum gets almost turned to stone and killed by Pokemon because Giovanni's was being mean and he brought out Mew and Mewtwo. I don't know. It's been a long time. I don't remember the exact storyline, but Ash Ketchum was dead, like dead on the ground, dead. Okay. This child Pokemon trainer, dead on the ground. And you see.
And then does Pikachu bring him back to life?
Pikachu is crying in the pouring rain above him, going, like trying to shock him back awake. I can't even tell you the trauma that brought to me. And it was like in some part of my brain that I completely shut out. And then I saw it on Instagram and I was like, who just decided to repost this? Like, this is like so fucked up. Okay. So that got me hot and heated about trauma. And it made me think of all the other movies that we watched growing up that were really not okay. Okay. Like OG was obviously like The Lion King when like Mufasa got trampled to death. Like that was pretty scarring, pun intended. But you know, like then
I have one.
Yeah, okay, you do yours. We'll go back and forth.
So my parents, I was obsessed with Leonardo DiCaprio in the first grade, like obsessed. I was big Growing Pains fan. So when I found out that Leonardo DiCaprio was going to be in the Titanic, I was like, I need to see it. And my parents were like, no. So they went to see it in the movies. And then at midnight, I made my dad go out. And I was like, you have to go get this movie at midnight for me. I was in first grade. And this man went out and got it. Like, why he did that, I don't really know. Anyway, so the next morning I find out that he got it for me. Anywho, I wind up watching
VHS tape.
2-part VHS tape, yes. That in itself, traumatizing that you had to pop out the one tape and put in the other tape halfway through.
It's at the worst time, too.
The Sound of Music is like that as well. Also, anyway, I watch it with all my neighbors, right? Like, and they were older than, like, they were like teenagers to like first grade, like, you know, not like old, but old enough to be like the supervisors of me watching this movie. Anyhow, I watch this movie and I had nightmares for 3 weeks straight that ice cold, pouring, freezing water was coming into my backyard, so I wouldn't go in my backyard because I kept thinking I was going to die on my swing set. So that was part number one. Part number two was I woke up because I'm petrified of the old lady, and I woke up and went into my parents' room, and I remember crying to my mom saying, "Mom, I don't want to be old." And she was like, "What are you talking about?" And I was like, "I don't want to be old like that lady in the Titanic." Part three. Part three of this is because I was afraid to go in my backyard and I refused to go like in my yard. I There was a girl up the block from me and she wanted to go in the yard on my swing set, and I was like, "No, I can't go in the yard. I'm gonna die." And she was like, "No, we're going on your swing set." And I was like, "No." She started pulling my arm trying to get me to go into the yard, and I was like, "No, I'm not going in my yard." And then the other neighbor was like, "Stop pulling her." So she was trying to pull me and she had a pickle in her hand. So she was only pulling me with one arm. The other girl was pulling me two. And she pulled my arm out of the socket and I had to go to the hospital and get it reset. And this is all from the Titanic.
Pickle have to do it.
Because she could only use one arm to pull me because she was eating the pickle with the other hand.
Oh my God. Wait, the funniest thing is that when you first started telling the story about the Titanic, I was about to say this is why we are friends and we are kindred spirits, because the Titanic was also a trigger for me. I always, when I was younger, had to shut off the movie at the part where he was handcuffed and the water was starting to fill up. Like, I actually started having panic attacks, and that's where the movie had to be shut off. Like, I could not watch past it because I was like, he's gonna drown and I can't do it. Like,
no, then the song was a trigger. I like it, and this was like going into school. So now, like, this actually might have been like kindergarten going into first grade, but I think it was more say first grade going to second grade. Anyway,
yeah.
my mom felt bad, so I got to eat my dolphins and whales snack on the way to the hospital because school started in like a week. Then I told everybody that this girl pulled my arm out of the socket. She denied it for years.
The pickle
The
is
whole
proof.
school year. The whole school year she denied it. I was like, "No,
Oh
you
my
did that."
God.
And then since they had the radio on the bus, you might not know because you probably didn't. Did you take a school bus to school or you
I
walked to
did
school?
until I moved. So kindergarten through third grade.
Okay, well, I feel like in New York sometimes you don't take a bus. Anyway, every time the song would come on, I would like sit like this and I'd be like la 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 on the bus because if I heard the song, I would have a nightmare.
And
It was bad.
it was on the radio like all the time.
All the time. It was so bad. It was so bad. That was the most traumatic movie of my life.
Are we glazing over the fact that the number 2 traumatic thing of this movie was an old person? Like, just a lady being old.
When I tell you I went into my mom's room crying that I was gonna get old and die, that was my fear of
So you
getting old and
didn't love
dying.
when she went,
No, like literally when she died, like Toni-ann, this is where my fear of death came from, I think. That movie. Like, this is why I can't get old. Like, I like am
well, when
petrified of
she
getting old
died,
and
the
dying.
dying was actually the happiest moment because she got to reunite with Jack.
The crazy part is I think I only put that together that was her dying, like for real. I just assumed she was gonna
She was
die. Like, I
dreaming?
didn't realize she
Oh.
actually died. I thought she was dreaming about it.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people still debate that to this day. They say like she was just having a dream. And I was like, bitch, she was old. She was dying. She was
No,
dying.
she definitely died. The entire boat was there. If she was having a dream, it would have only been Jack.
Yeah.
Every single
True.
person that died on the boat was
True.
in the scene.
He only exists now in my memories.
Anyway.
Well, that was a great point on your side for traumatic movies because I wasn't even thinking that. And yes, it was a very pivotal traumatic movie as a child. I was also thinking of Fox
I
and
didn't
the
watch
Hound.
it for years. Like, I did not watch it for years. And I also remember, this is a good segue into our next thing. So, in 2015, obviously, me and Toni-ann went to watch playoffs in the Playwright, and it was the night that Ruben Tejada broke his leg, and we had a lot of beer, and I got really sick and whatever. The next day, I was hungover in her sister's bed in her house, and her mom was making like Sunday dinner. We were waiting for it to be cooked, and I was on my deathbed, and Toni-ann's watching the Titanic, and I was literally like, I can't watch this movie right now. Like, I have to just suck it up, like, and watch it while I'm dying, feeling like I may puke at any moment with a cold rag on my head, and being like, oh my God, I don't want to watch the whole movie. This is going to trigger me. But I did watch the whole movie with you. Anyway.
I can't even, like, this is another example of Jess's memory because this is my home. I have no recollection of watching the Titanic that day at all. But if it's that triggering to her, she would remember. So that makes sense.
I also was on my deathbed.
I mean, we both are pretty much on our deathbeds that day.
We were, but
yeah. We should play a new Being Friends drinking game. Anytime Toni-ann or Jess mentions the year 2015, have a drink, please. You'll be trashed.
We'll all be on our deathbeds.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway,
so,
okay,
that
so
one.
moving on to the Mets.
Okay, we're done with traumatic movies. Got it.
Well, how many traumatic movies can we have? I feel like those were good ones. Like, we can't.
I was also going to give an honorable mention to Fox and the Hound. I hate that movie. It traumatized me. Traumatized me. And like the dog, them getting caught in the traps, and the dog dying because he was shot. I just can't. So that was traumatic. And there was one more now that, of course, has escaped me.
Literally all Disney movies are traumatic.
Pay It Forward or Hardball. Which one was it that I hated both? Pay It Forward was the kid, the Sixth Sense kid, Haley Joel Osment.
I don't think I saw either of those movies.
He got stabbed, and I've had a deep fear of stabbing for years after that. I think Keanu Reeves was in both these movies. Maybe that's why I always get them confused. And then Hardball with Keanu Reeves was when he like coached like a really ghetto like baseball team, and the movie ended with the little cute kid being shot in a drive-by.
Would you like to be on the podcast?
Oh, Rosie. Fox and the Hound.
She was triggered.
Triggered. Anyway, there's plenty more, but yes, let's move on. We've ranted long enough about this.
Sorry. Anyhow, okay, so obviously the Mets played the NLDS last week, and they moved on. Thank God. Okay, woo! The vibes though of Game 1 at Citi Field.
Yes, Jess.
No, I didn't go to Game 1. I went to Game 2.
Oh yeah. Okay,
but Game 1, like the vibes just via Twitter were like so overwhelming that I didn't know what to do with myself.
Yeah.
But specifically, the Grimace just like day that it was. First of all, Grimace is on the 7-line trains, if anybody didn't know. But the video of Grimace getting on the 7-line to go to the game and like everybody jumping on that train, when I tell you, I felt like I was watching it, and the anxiety that I had watching these people jump on the train, like
why?
You would have thought that they were like jumping in an elevator and they were gonna get stuck. Like I just was so nervous that they were going to break the train and not make it to the game.
They were at the platform in the station.
No, I understand, but it was still just making me nervous. Like, what if the train collapsed through, like, the like, train tracks?
I'm surprised more people didn't make jokes about Grimace jumping up and down celebrating like an Edwin Diaz disaster situation.
Why would you speak that into existence? Didn't even think of it.
Like, what if Grimace tore his Achilles celebrating?
Toni-ann, no. But I was just getting so much anxiety from them jumping on the train. Like, it was really making me so nervous. And I don't know why, but it did.
Most people saw joy when they watched that video, but that's Jess.
I loved it. I showed everyone it, but like the more I watched it, the more I felt like something terrible was going to happen in it.
Okay,
anyway. So that was that. So Game 1, we come out and Game 1 was a good game.
It was actually a pretty like easy one.
It was the least stressful game of maybe the entire season.
And that's saying something considering we were losing at the beginning of it.
Right, like that was still stressful because we
But I was like, we're good. And then they never went back, so it was great. Yes, right. Very good.
So, anyway, so they did good that day. Me, on the other hand, I went on Wednesday to Game 2. So this is like clinching opportunity. So all day I'm like having like a stroke because I'm like, I'm gonna be at this game and they're gonna lose. Like they're gonna lose. Like I'm gonna bring bad luck, whatever. So like I did wind up wearing my Scherzer shirt, everybody. I wore it under the shirt that I wore to the game when we went and they won.
Okay.
And then I wore the jacket that I wore to Game 5 of the World Series, which was the only game they won.
Right.
So we had good juju going. Anyway, so they were losing like 2-0. And I wound up changing my seat after they scored the second run. I want to say I switched my seat and I sat in the seat that I sat in when they won, when we went in September. Alec was in that seat originally, but I did it. I changed it. The man next to me, eventually, I don't remember at one point, but at some point he was like, "Good looks on the seat change," and shook my hand.
That stands are the freaking worst. We enable each other so badly.
I know, literally. Like, it was so funny. Everyone was talking about the juju, like, around each other. It was so funny. Anyway, so at one point I was, like, standing, and they kept swinging and missing, but if I sat, they threw a ball. So Lindor gets up, and I'm like, everyone around me is standing, so I can't see a thing. So I sit down, and Alec is like, stand up. And I'm like, fine, I'll stand up. So I stand up, and it just like wasn't going the right way. So it finally gets to the point where I'm like, sit down or stand up, sit down or stand up, sit down or stand up. And he was like, okay, maybe sit down for this pitch and let's see what happens. And I sit down, and I shit you not, I hear the bat. Like, I heard the bat, and Alec grabs my shoulder, and as I rise, the ball is going over the fence, and all I screamed was, I sat down!
Great job.
So you're welcome, everybody, for the 4 runs and the grand slam, because I sacrificed myself to sit down.
Oh my God.
So then by the end of the game, like, those were the only runs, so it was like very stressful because those were the only runs. And then Edwin Diaz comes in the ninth and like is like throwing balls galore. Like, I don't really know what happened. Somebody compared him to Billy Wagner in front of me, which I thought was hilarious.
Shit.
Yeah, he was like, you remember Billy Wagner? This is the second coming of Billy Wagner. And I was like, oh man. But he wasn't wrong. Anyway, so
Right.
So they win, and then the next day I went to work in my Met shirt, and I also sent a photo of the 4 of us that went to our sister company in South Jersey and said, sorry for your loss.
Ha ha, that was great. Nice.
Some of them found it funny, others did not reply at all.
And that was the nicest thing they could have done, was just not reply at all.
So now here we are.
You
playing
witnessed
the
the
Dodgers.
first home clincher at Citi
know.
Field.
I know. Okay, but the dance crew, I'm sorry. I was gonna punch them and remove them
First
from the
world
top of the
problem is
dugout
Jess
myself.
was 1 seat away from the Mets dugout, so
I couldn't see.
the
They were
dance crew
blocking
was a
everything.
problem.
Like, first of all, nobody even wants you here. No one wants you here.
We've been
So
saying that since the
please-
beginning of the season.
No, but like
so-
they don't need to be at the end of the game when you're watching them celebrate. They don't need to be on top of the dugout. I'm sorry, they don't. Put them on the concourse, put them anywhere else. Put them on the damn field, like in the outfield. Put them somewhere, just not blocking people's view.
Yeah, I think that's a critique that should be
And
told
this is
to
also
someone.
where I realized that I think the background noise when you're taking a video, like if you're saying things, I think the new update, you can't hear what you say, because I was complaining about those girls and you can't hear it in the video. I was like, would you fucking move?
Well,
But
thank God for
no.
that.
Yeah, so anyway, that's that. I should tag Steve Cohen and Alex Cohen in it on Twitter and be like, hi, just in case we ever get this opportunity again, maybe don't let these people go on top of the dugout. Thank you.
Yeah.
But no, great experience. It was super fun. Took
I was very
forever.
happy you had that.
The parking situation was absolutely terrible. But we got there like literally by the skin of our teeth, and we did not. I went to the bathroom one time. We were not moving from those seats.
Right.
And once I changed my seat, everything changed.
That was good.
Everything changed.
Well,
Stop.
I will now be going to game 4, home game 2 this week. So I will be repping us this week. And it's going to be quite a different weather, though. It's going to be frigid. It's going to be bringing back 2015 World Series vibes with like winter, basically. Cheers to that. But it should
What
be good.
section are you sitting in?
Not going to be next to the dance crew. I will be in 520.
Okay, but I meant like it might be windier up there. So whatever
Yeah.
you do, do not bring the fleece blanket with you.
Can I tell you that my mother like has it ready to go because she's coming with me?
No,
And
she
I
cannot bring that.
didn't think about that. I'm gonna have to tell her she's not allowed to
No,
bring
I
that.
literally left mine in the car for that reason. She cannot bring it. She could bring anything else. Tell her to knit go buy a new blanket. Knit
My
a
mother
blanket.
knits blankets.
I don't know, but she needs to do something. She cannot bring that blanket.
She's not gonna bring that blanket. Now that I remember that that's the blanket, she's not bringing that blanket.
No, she can't bring it.
We'll just bring like a plain like blue blanket.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Thank God you said that. I would have totally forgot.
Well, you're welcome.
And I have the other one in my little bin here.
Mine was in the car and I thought about bringing it and I picked it up and then I like realized and I threw it back in the car. Threw it. I was like, we don't need those vibes.
For those that don't know, the blankets were a giveaway in 2015.
The game that we went to with our dads.
After the Mets already clinched the division, so they were already in the playoffs. This was kind of like a game that didn't really matter, but it was like, okay, like me and Jess did lots of celebrating.
It was
like,
October 3rd, 2015.
She had the exact date. We went with our dads. We got fleece blankets as a giveaway. Very nice fleece blankets. But then we proceeded to watch Max Scherzer, who was on the Nationals at the time, hit the New York Mets. And it was probably like 25 degrees out.
Easily.
Yeah. So
it actually was probably like 30 degrees with a wind chill that felt like 25.
Right.
And like we were all freezing and then we're with our psychotic dads who raised us psychotic. So did we leave early? No, we froze our asses off.
We did get pizza afterwards.
Watching the Mets get no hit.
We did get pizza afterwards, but
we went to the bar and then we got pizza afterwards. Yes.
Yes. But it was freezing and we shouldn't be using those fleece blankets at Citi Field. You're so right. And I will not. I will make sure to tell Deb we're leaving those home and we'll have to find other blankets.
We're going to call her right after we're done with this.
Yeah. And I also had to just point out to my dads, our poor dads, is because we took our moms in 2015 to probably the greatest weekend.
Yes, this we've talked about before. That the moms got the good games and the dads.
Season when we moved ahead and we like basically like, clinched, and the guys got the no-hitter in the freezing cold. So sorry, dads.
They're so mad about it.
And then I took my dad to the World Series game when it was still freezing. We had a great time, obviously, because it was World Series, but that is when the ball went through Daniel Murphy's legs, and we know what happened after that.
Yeah, let's not talk about that. Anyway, so yeah, that's that. So now we're playing the Dodgers. As of now, series is tied 1-1,
which is good.
And by Friday, who knows what can? Well, Friday there's a game at 4,
right.
So we're definitely playing until Friday.
Yeah,
but by Friday, who knows what the cards will give us? Who knows what how long the series will be? Who knows what we'll be talking about next week, because we might not be in it by the next time we record.
Yeah, because game 7 would be like Sunday, wouldn't it? No.
No,
it would be Monday.
Would be Monday.
Oh, okay.
Jesus Christ. Well, we're definitely not recording on Monday if there's a game 7.
Well, let's hope there's not a game 7. Let's hope that we do well enough this week for there not to be a thing.
Well, yeah, obviously, but like also.
Listen, we'll never know what's going to happen here. Like I said, we're just happy to be here at this point. Like, Jess got to witness a clinch. I'm going to go and have a great time and hopefully at least see a win. At this point, it's mathematically impossible for me to see a clinch. So, just going for a great time. And let's see what the next week brings us. I'm terrified.
Hopefully a lot of grimace and purple and runs.
Also, to follow up from our last week's episode when we discussed the possibility of Jeff McNeil returning, he is on the NLCS roster, and it does look like he may be starting tomorrow, actually. They may be giving Jose Iglesias a break because he has been
I think he might need a break. He hasn't had a break. And like, first of all, this man could do no wrong in my eyes, right, Jose Iglesias. But the other day, like, you could, like, I just think he's tired. He needs a break.
He needs a reset.
And Right, and that's fine, but like Jess should not be starting every day from here on out. Like, give him a break, and Jose deserves to be back in that lineup. Shut up. Come here.
Unless he comes back like a 4-for-4 day, then maybe.
Maybe. But also the other day when they made him pinch hit and he hit that little bloop, I was like, really? This man's gonna be the only one to get us on base? Are you kidding?
Yeah, because it was
But he
actually
did.
kind of a hard hit.
It was, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I was like, you know.
I
Hold on, I have to let this dog out. Please hold.
Okay.
I know we're ready to wrap up, but
Do we want to briefly discuss how we have a miserable Jets session for a second?
Oh, yeah. Okay, let's talk about that. We forgot all about them. Well, today we got Devontae Adams, which, like, is he going to do anything? Who knows?
Probably not.
I will say things did go better than with Robert Saleh, but still weren't great.
It's not saying
I
much.
thought the coaching was better.
Yes.
I think the defensive coordinator being the coach kind of made the defense struggle a little. But the kicking situation obviously wasn't great last night.
Brink the leg's got to go. He's got a new
Well,
name.
they did say that the one end of the field was like an actual wind tunnel.
He missed on the other side too.
But he missed on the other side too. So yeah.
Yeah. My brother has now renamed him.
The Bills kicker missed at least one. Did he miss two also?
He missed a field goal and an extra point. The Bills kicker.
There you go.
Yeah. My brother has renamed Greg the Leg Greg the Neg, and I will be sticking to that now. And between that and I think they said it was maybe the most penalty yardage of like any game in like God only knows how long. Like they killed themselves with the penalties. Like that is really what killed it.
I mean, there was a lot of penalties called, including like, well, in our favor even, but even if you watch Aaron Rodgers, in the post-game interview, he was like, yeah, there was way too many penalties called, and it seems like they were calling every little thing, including the one on, he was like, there was a few bad calls, including the one on me, the roughing the passer. That was just me getting tackled.
He's honest. I mean, he's honest. Love him or hate him.
Right. I mean, like, he's not going to say, like, nah, that wasn't a penalty on the field. Like, obviously it was to our benefit. But like,
right.
What?
We're not going to decline it, out of solidarity, but at the same time, right. Yeah, so the Jets are now 2-4, and I don't know if getting one new receiver is really going to make that big of a difference.
I also think that, like, the thing is with the penalties, like, when they call all those ridiculous penalties, and then when there's actually a penalty or holding, they don't call it. Like, that's the annoying part.
Mm-hmm. So we're gonna keep the good vibes going for baseball because as usual, football's not really doing the trick. So we'll see what happens. But any parting words?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so.
All right. Yeah. Well, I love GM, and thanks for being our friend.
Yeah. Thanks for
that
being
almost rhymed. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Hi, friends. Wow, you listened to the whole thing. Thanks for listening. Please be sure to subscribe on YouTube and your favorite podcast platform and share it with your friends. Ratings, reviews, and comments help as well. See you next week. Thanks for being our friend.